I'm Stuart from Fab Lab Maker Hub. This is another in the pop-up Fab Lab series. Today I'm going to be talking about 3D printing materials, specifically the filament that we use. Mostly the filament that we put into the 3D printer is made from this stuff here. This is PLA, raw plastic. This is the kind of plastic that most of the plastics industry uses. It comes as pellets like this, and it's either fed into a hopper for an injection molding machine, or in the case of 3D filament, it's melted down and then extruded to create the filament. That's the raw plastic. If you want to make a color, you add in a colorant. So for instance, if you wanted to make pink filament like this, you add in a pink colorant, extrude that out, and you end up with pink filament like this. PLA stands for polylactic acid, and it's actually a byproduct of corn oil manufacture. So the actual filament itself is a renewable source, because we just grow more corn and you can get more corn oil and you can get more 3D printing filament. Also, it's recyclable as well. So at the end of the day, you can chop it up, melt it down again, and make some more filament. So that's the raw plastic. This filament here, that this little coffee cup is made out of, actually has coffee grains in it. So when you print with this filament, there's a nice smell of roasted coffee in the air. There are other types of plastic that we use for 3D printing. One of them is this type of plastic here, which is ABS. Now ABS isn't quite as eco-friendly as PLA. This is one of the kind of petroleum oil-based plastics. ABS you'd know from your kids' toys, from Lego, because Lego is made from ABS. Not quite as eco-friendly to print with. Also, it does give off a bit of a nasty smell when you do print with it. So we don't, in the Fab Lab here, we don't really print with ABS very often. It does have certain advantages in as much as it's very kind of strong and tough. You can obviously 3D print your own Lego. So for instance, here's some custom Lego that we 3D printed. Not with ABS, but with PLA. So we created these custom 3D printed Lego parts to go with our little mini robot here. In terms of 3D printing with PLA, the real advancements have come in terms of the additives that are put into them. So we have some filaments here that have some extra sort of composites put into them. So this filament here is actually a PLA filament, but it has carbon fiber added into it. So when you print with this, it gives you that kind of added strength that you would get with kind of carbon fiber, but allows you to print easily in the same way that you would print with PLA. Other filaments, for instance this one has copper filings put into it. So when you print with this, it's like printing, again, it's still plastic, but it's plastic with metal impregnated into it. When you print with it, the model that you get out of it looks very much like metal and can be sort of burnished and polished in exactly the same way. This filament here has bamboo in it. Again, it's plastic, but when you print with it, the product that you come out with looks very much like sort of wood. And again, it can be sanded down and kind of like varnished, and would end up looking very much like wood when you print with it. So lots of different types of 3D filament available with lots of different types of properties. So if there's anything in particular that you want to print, come and talk to us and we can advise you on what filament to use for your product.